All right, what's going on, everybody? So what we're going to be doing now is a review of the Sony A8G to the left. Now, you're going to see shaking because I've got this kind of like monopoded on my bed here because the distance is just too great between these two TVs. So you're going to see a good amount of shake. That's just going to happen. So it's on a tripod of sorts. It's just the bed is moving because I'm moving as I'm talking. So just kind of bear with that. That being said, I am comparing this directly to the Samsung Q8FN as well, so that you guys can kind of verify everything that I'm saying here in this review, and we have a point of reference, so to speak. Now, the short answer for anybody looking for this OLED television, I guess, prognosis or overall summary, it's a great OLED television. The best on the market, period, and that includes going up against the A9G. This is the OLED to get in 2019. Why do I say that? It is the closest you are going to get to a quantum dot monster like the Q8FN. I don't know how well this is showing through. I'll try to make sure everything's in focus here on my end. Don't know how much you are or are not seeing. I do see slight clipping, so I'll try to adjust that out here. Now it makes the screen just look really, really dark on my end though, even though it's gone, so I'll have to adjust that. And I still have that HDMI dropping out, so it's gonna happen on the Q8 to the right. Just bear with it, guys. It is what it is. Not everything's gonna go perfect in the technology world. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fire up the opening of Spider-Man here so you guys can see just some cinematics here. I did end up getting my last video flagged by Warner Brothers for like literally the last minute of the video, 50 seconds or something like that. It was so ridiculous, out of like 30 minutes or something like that. So very salty about that because Warner Brothers not looking at the fair use laws, but we'll deal with them. That being said, this TV is great, man. Like you don't have to go spending a ton of money on the A9G. It is not necessary. In fact, the A9G is lacking a lot of the features that this TV does have, such as, again, not having that dedicated X1 Extreme processor giving you those extra picture modes. I think that for this TV is what's making the biggest difference here, is your ability to just go in and choose a mode set up for animation, set up for photos, and all the other various things, like tons of picture preset options. But what's really cool here is, you know, even though it doesn't have the color space manager found on the higher end A9G, you do not need it. And the reason you don't need it is because the reds out of the box, when you put it into the HDMI 2 or 3 full bandwidth ports, look absolutely incredible. They're every bit on par with quantum dots from Samsung's finest TVs, not even the ones from 2019. Then by finest, I mean the 2018 Q8FN, which many of you already know. I regard this thing as probably the best quantum dot television Samsung has ever made, and I'll still go on record in saying that. It's a fantastic television and it looks wonderful. And this OLED is just doing some beautiful things to keep up with that and beat it in a lot of areas, which is what you expect, obviously, at the price point. Now, when we're talking about the downsides, I mean, really, one of the biggest things I don't like, the frame is cheap. It is made out of plastic. It feels like a $500 TV. They did not try with the design. The remote is garbage and it's unforgivable. It's a remote that should never have happened on a TV at this price point. So for real though, like, that's something to think about because it's trash. The way that, I mean, literally, LG's B9 is more premiumly built. This TV is completely surrounded by plastic. I literally can't warn you enough on that because that's some hot garbage. But that image though, my God, like, because I'd never seen this before. I'm gonna tell you right now though, that image is where they put the money. So you get a little salty about it because you're like, damn you gave me the best picture on an OLED I've ever seen, and you did it in the cheapest body you could possibly put it in, you bastards at Sony. And you know, so that's the little negative thing I've got going here, but I mean, it looks so good though, dude. Like, it really does, and I can't complain too much. I can, because obviously at this price point, complaints will be lodged. But either way, I'm just saying, man, it looks good, you know? And I'm digging it. Now, if we talk about motion, motion is another downside. This TV is horrible for motion, and there is no nice way to say that. I know some people think that Sony is the best for motion in the entire world, and those people are completely and totally misleading themselves. Sony used to be really good in 2017, but shortly after that, when they launched their X1 Extreme and the X1 Ultimate processors, those processors get bogged down very quickly and they start bottlenecking because they are too powerful for the type of television that they are creating. And quite frankly, they need to up the hardware if they're trying to use such powerful picture processing without slowdowns. But of course, they're not thinking ahead, and they're just trying to cheap out to save money and get you close enough to what they think is an awesome image. And this is no exception. This has motion issues, not as bad as the Sony X930 for my 930 guys out there, but it's definitely pretty noticeable with artifacts and fast moving scenes. That's something that you're not going to like too much because it's definitely going to look like hot trash. So I just thought that was something that you guys might want to know about. Overall though, this TV is incredible. I can't say enough good things about it. I mean, the black crush is a non-issue. You don't have a whole lot of the typical LG problems, as I mentioned, like the color red is still something I'm still tripping on. This has basically quantum dot red. And that's a big, big deal because Sonys don't do that. They usually give you like really ugly red. And not Sony, I mean like LG and OLED in general usually gives you really ugly red unless you sit there calibrating forever. And even then it's not perfect. Where this took very little effort to calibrate, tune up, adjust, and that's going to be your experience as well. This TV does need to be calibrated though because it does run a little on the blue side of things. So just keep that in mind. But from what I'm seeing, what I've seen, all the movies I've played, John Wick 3, Harry Potter, Yu Yu Hakusho, Demon Slayer, I mean, name anything. Monsters, Inc., all the other movies on the wonderful world of Wonder Calibration Disc, various video games. This thing has been like a great treat, man. And when I was playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, it just looked incredible. Like when I turned off the HUDs and everything, it was just a breeze, man. It was just looking absolutely incredible. And that's going to be your experience too for the most part, guys. And I just wanted to share that with you so at least you kind of know what you're getting yourselves into because it's important to know. So when we're talking about gaming aspects, it's not going to be a gaming TV. That I'm going to throw out there right now. For a lot of you guys, if you're like, oh, the C9 or B9, should I do that? Because they got the HDMI 2.1. Yeah, you should just go get yourself a B9 or a C9 because this TV's game mode is pretty juddery. I don't use it. Most game modes in general are pretty bad, to be very honest with you. Honestly, I believe only Samsung has the answer to this right now with providing motion processing in game mode to deal with the typically awful judder that we do see. So that's something to think about as well. When you're looking at just overall performance, it's a great TV, but it's not for everybody. Now, comparing it directly to the Samsung Q8FN, which again, many of you guys already know I regard quite highly as being one of the best TVs around. I mean, hey, it's doing its thing. For an OLED to come this close to a quantum dot television, that does not happen too often. Now, the reds are still better. Colors overall are more vibrant. Brightness is significantly better. Don't know how much of that you can see. But as I look at this scene, I am pretty fulfilled looking at it compared to my Q8FN, which is my champion TV for anyone wondering. And hey, this OLED is something special. It really is. And I'm able to forgive all of the problems that it has. I really am because hey, you know, you're not going to find the perfect TV in 2019. It's not going to happen. But this gets pretty damn close, right? Like, I don't know what it is about this TV, but there's like a three-dimensional draw to it where it kind of like sucks you in and it's like, hey, watch me. I'm an awesome TV. And you're like, all right, I mess with this TV heavy. Like, it's pretty dope. And the Black Crush, again, not a thing. Colors looking just so good. I mean, really, looking at it against the Q8, it's that TV, man. They're both looking real good. Like, right now, like, these lights on the cop car, so amazing on OLED right now because you can see every little light, every little expression of color. And it's down to that Sony processing, which makes a huge difference. I'm telling you, LG is not there yet. So yeah, they're better for gaming. They're better for input lag and processing and all that. And if that's all you care about, good. But if you're after overall picture quality, you can do no better than this TV right here, right now for OLED if you're an OLED fan. Just throwing that out there. Now, overall, I would say choose what you want, whatever makes you happy, right? But this is just a little quick review, I guess, as quick as it can be anyway, to explain the various aspects of gaming, movies, no-go, gaming. Again, that's probably not going to be the best. So even with it not being the best, the only reason I edge this out as being the best OLED is because the picture quality is the best I've ever seen on any OLED television, period. Like literally any one of them. So I hope this video helps you guys out and you're able to see at least a little bit of what I'm talking about so I don't sound totally crazy. If I sound totally crazy, that's cool too. That being said, I didn't want to waste your time with any of the boring, trendy stuff that you're going to see on a lot of other review sites and things like that. That's not what I'm here for. I'm just literally trying to be a resource and kind of give you a heads up. It's not a perfect TV. it's got a lot of problems, motion being the big one for movies. Slow-paced scenes look good. 60 FPS stuff looks good, but it's that fast-paced, like Jason Bourne style movie, that's really gonna mess you up. So just be mindful of that. This TV is not as smooth as it needs to be for an OLED. That being said though, I hope you guys found it helpful either way. Now, with that out the way, we're gonna continue comparing the rest of this kind of like review, if you will. We're gonna round out the review by just kind of going up against the Q8FN. Now, the dropouts you're seeing are due to probably an HDMI cord that's bad that I put on this thing or whatever. I'm using one of my older HDMI cables that I don't usually use, so that's probably what's causing the problem here. But either way, I wanted to, at the very least, let you guys know what was going on with that, because I know I'd see the dropouts and be like, what is happening here? So we're gonna try to go through the Amazing Spider-Man here and just kind of detail a little bit more of the story mode to show you a little bit more of like gameplay mechanics and things like that, so you guys can see all that stuff. Because I know gaming is always a big concern. I'm outside of game mode, for anybody wondering. I do not game in game mode. Again, it's really bad. It's juddery and it's a mess. So I don't mess with it too much. But that being said, I know a lot of you guys will probably try to use game mode anyway, or it'll be a deal breaker for you guys either way. But I'm gaming a casual game like Spider-Man, and I'm not having any problems whatsoever. So something to think about, guys. Now let's see, more prompts here. We got bad guys coming up. We're gonna hit them with the little spinning head scissors attack here. I mean, I really love both TVs. It's just so fun looking at them both side by side, you know? Because you get to see like things you didn't always notice and things like that. Now, one thing I haven't had the chance to try out yet, I haven't really been interested in it because I have a sound system, is that acoustic surface technology. I don't really get into that. I mean, I have a sound bar, I have a Sony Z9F sound bar, so no way I'm gonna replace my $800, $900 sound bar with something that's significantly less money, you know? That's just kind of my take on that, but all right, so let's go in this air vent again, and we're going to try to progress the story here, hopefully a lot faster than I was able to last time. I feel like I've just passed what I needed to go to, but I could be wrong as well. So there we go. We're just gonna take this guy down. Can we jump down, or do we have to wait? I don't know. I guess we just keep going. All right, so crawling in an air vent, trying to find my way out. That should be the way right there, right? No, I do this every time in this game. Literally every time. This air vent, for whatever reason, is like a trick air vent. It's like so annoying. So I guess you have to double back or whatever. So let's try to double back again. And then they let you drop down, which I think is stupid, but okay. Yeah, guys, I mean, the color red is incredible. I hope you guys can see what I'm seeing on my end, because I'll probably just sound crazy to some of you guys, but it's all good, man. This is incredible. Both displays looking good for the Q9, or not the Q9, the Q8FN, and the A8G here. But as a review, in summary, it's a fantastic OLED, best you're gonna buy right now. $2,000, it's an excellent price, get it while you can. $1498 for the 55-inch, even better. Again, this is gonna perform as close to a quantum dot television as you can get. Motion, not that great, though in some scenes like now, motion looks fantastic, it's clean, it's smooth. You do have the ability to go into 24p auto sync, which you do not have on the A9G, which I'll show you right here. Go into your settings, and right here, you're in cinema, I have that off. You go into 24p auto sync, and boom, things just get really fluid and really smooth, especially again, in games like this. So again, something you guys might wanna think about as you're going into your kind of gameplays and stuff like that. But overall, you can't go wrong with the A9G with most usage, but it's not perfect for motion, and that's the real big detractor here. That being said, if you guys have any specific questions, just ask them in the comment section. Since I missed the live stream, I'll do my best to try to answer as many of your questions as I can. And with that, I want to thank you guys for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.